This is the Independence, where we think crazy is the new normal, especially if you're Dennis Rodman. He's in North Korea practicing some basketball diplomacy, and this morning he was asked about an American detained in the Hermit Kingdom, and he had a bit of a meltdown. Take it away, Secretary Rodman.
No, I'm just saying, no, I don't give a what the, I don't give a rat's ass what the hell you think. I'm saying to you, look at these guys here. Look at them.
Yeah, but listen,
ain't no shield. I got it. Let me do this. Really, I'm gonna tell you one thing. People around the world, I'm gonna do one thing. You guy behind the mic right now, we are the guys here doing one thing. We have to go back to America and take the abuse. Do you have to take the abuse? Well, we're going to take it. Do you, sir? Let me know. Are you going to take the abuse? We're going to get it.
My God, I can smell the vodka from here. Can you get concussions in basketball? Our party panel must have some thoughts on this commie in training. Camille, you're surprisingly not opposed to sending Dennis Rodman to North Korea because, what, you want him to be the new Uncle Jang?
Listen, let me say this. This is, I want to qualify this up front, but you can feel free to disregard the qualification and rip me to shreds. But
like a pack of 120 ravenous
Dennis Rodman
Korean
would
dogs.
not be my first choice for U.S. ambassador to North Korea. He would not. But I do have two words for everyone: Nixon, China. Right? Nixon goes to China. He breaks bread with what is probably the most horrendous, the most prolific, homicidal maniac ever to walk the face of the earth in Mao. Right? He breaks bread with him. Most people regard that as not the worst thing on earth. And I don't want to exaggerate either one of the significance of either one of these two events, but there is something symbolic about these events, and it is the notion that diplomacy matters, and there's more to diplomacy than a simple policy of privation of the poor. We are actively contributing to the starvation of millions of people in North Korea right now. The North Koreans are still experimenting with nukes. Our current policy isn't working, and extending olive branches and facilitating some sort of cultural exchange seems like the right thing to do. I am not suggesting that we're going to get stellar results from what Dennis Rodman is doing. He's not a man who's been known for his rhetorical flourishes. He is a bizarre human being.
And where has that cigar been?
All of
I
that
mean, he's
said,
a combination of Monica Lewinsky
all
and
of that
Triumph,
said,
the comedy
our current policy seems to stink. It seems to stink, and I'd like to see someone suggest that this isn't.
Doesn't it bother you that any American would go there and dignify? I mean, this is a guy who is just responsible for such heinous things. I just can't imagine that Dennis Rodman, that guy that we just saw in that interview, can bring anything of worth for us to the table other than pure embarrassment. Pure embarrassment, A, and B, also just lowering our standards. The fact that we're even willing to go over there. This is a guy who's responsible for imprisoning people, killing people.
He went to China?
I think it denigrates the United States to look at Dennis Rodman as some kind of leader.
That question too, Jedediah.
Okay, let me ask Matt a few questions. Cliff Robinson was for a while the best sixth man in the league. I mean, don't you think he's going to go over there?
You can't get trailblazer propaganda.
He's got a tremendous outside shot. Another trailblazer, Kenny Anderson, is there, not to be outdone by Vinny Baker, the basket maker. I mean, this really is the diplomatic dream team. Am I right?
Should we talk about Sam Bowie and Bill Walton's broken feet? Or are we going to go that far? No, Nixon was a president. He was fighting a Cold War. There was a divide and conquer geopolitical.
By the way, a philosophical basis. I mean, I don't know that Dennis Rodman has written the 6 crises.
All of it's fair.
The thing about twisted totalitarian regimes, and this is true everywhere. This is true in Cuba. This is true in Venezuela. This is true all over the world. Saudi Arabia. They attract a certain kind of twisted American kind of tourist, rubbernecker, who will go there. The ones who piss me off the most of those, and I agree with you, I want more Americans everywhere. I want us to get rid of the Cuban embargo tomorrow. I was in Cuba. The thing that Cubans need more than anything is just to hang out with outsiders and get real with people and get some money. The thing that is upsetting is when privileged people from America go and hang out with privileged people in totalitarian countries, and it ends up kind of justifying what they do. They're sniffing the jocks of
and by the way, Jennifer Lopez plays, some dictator's son's birthday party, and she's maligned in the press, but we're supposed to accept.
I'm not saying
Dennis Rodman saying that
he's
throwing down.
I haven't said that we should celebrate Dennis Rodman. I'm not suggesting that. I'm only suggesting that our current policy isn't working. This, symbolically anyways, does represent some sort of step away from that. We have troops that are stationed in Korea. How long should they be there? It's expensive.
Well, I mean, that's another
ineffective.
question outside of Dennis Rodman. I don't think we have to legitimize Dennis Rodman's alcoholic rants. Rich, get in here, my friend.
I'm glad Matt is bashing the privilege. I want to bash celebrities. What is this phenomenon of celebrities thinking that they're diplomats and humanitarians? I mean, what's next? Vanilla Ice going to Syria? A has-been trying to do diplomacy?
Dude, that would be awesome.
Vanilla Ice? A rap cultural exchange in Syria?
Collaborate and listen.
Where's the representative from the Obama administration doing this work?
Well, that's a different question.
And would that be an embarrassment to the United States in the same way that it was an embarrassment to the United States apparently when Richard Nixon visited China?
No, the question is, should a celebrity
so then we're all saying that we would like to see, so what we're all saying is that we'd like to see a representative from the Obama administration go do what Nixon did in China.
Okay,
I'm glad we can all agree. That's wonderful. I win.
Okay, here's one difference. Dennis Rodman is clearly broke and out of his tree crazy. So he's making a lot of money to go to North Korea. It is a clearly capitalist enterprise.
I don't know how much Dennis Rodman in the 1990s. Bringing up Trailblazers, can you have any personal insight that you gained from being up close and personal? Oh, did I say personal enough?
Yeah. How is this possible? He can't even get a TV show in this country, let alone how. Like, he's not even a current celebrity. And that's what boggles my mind.
There's also a fear that someone like
Helen
this
Reddy's going to go over next. She's going to go to Burma.
She's going to go to Burma, right?
Yeah, she's not even going to call it Myanmar. Sorry.
No, I would say, no, just that there's a fear that someone like this is going to put their stamp of approval on what's going on there. Whereas if you had a representative from the United States, from the administration, they're certainly not going to condone what's going on there. They're going to sit down and have talks, but at the same time be condemning the human rights violations.
You know what's going to happen, Jedediah?
I'd like to see that happen.
Yeah, it's just crazy enough to work, and we're going to be scratching our well-coiffed heads in probably a few months going, holy mother of all things holy. All right, well, thank you, sweet panel. Rich and Jedediah, please come back again for the third time. Former Defense Secretary Bob Gates apparently hates Joe Biden, and will glean as many juicy details as we can from his upcoming autobiography.